I am Edith Vonnegut, and I grew up in this town of Barnstable since I was 5 years old. When my father started the Saab dealership, I was 7 years old. And I just remember this beautiful building. And he would come to work, he would write at home, and he would write here a little bit. But it was not, I was only 7, so I didn't know much. But it was a struggle just looking back through history. He wasn't doing well with this dealership. I would visit him here a little bit and sit in the cars. I remember the cars were a beautiful ruby red. He put my mother on the hood of the Saab car and it was looking elegant. She was very cute and adorable, and I still have those pictures. I remember playing in the back seat. He was busy though, he couldn't play with me, so I just played with the car. He did write Sirens of Titan in that time frame. And the other thing I very much remember is him saying that was the easiest book he ever wrote. That it just came out of him, like it just erupted out of him. So I think he wrote that in about 6 months. And it was during the time he had the Saab dealership. So that was 1957, and it was published in 59. Excuse me. He stopped working at the dealership. I think it lasted maybe 2 years tops. He thought that the Swedes make beautiful watches, they're going to make beautiful cars. And he saw one coming home from Boston, and he thought, everyone's going to work on this. No one wanted to do this. There was so much wrong with it. You had to add the oil to the gasoline. It belched smoke if it sat for too long because the oil would sink and be kind of like molasses. So my father was not capable to do anything business-wise except be a writer. So I think it was very short-lived, though I've been actually trying to find out exactly the dates of it. But I think it was only 1957, 1 year of no success. He had to buy 6 cars from the Saab dealership to sell with my mother's inheritance. But Saab, they wouldn't just loan you the car, so you had to buy it. And at that time, he had been writing short stories for magazines. That was falling apart. No one was doing magazines anymore because television was just a terrible confluence of bad luck for him. So that time period, from 1957, having this terrible Saab thing, having 3 kids, no future. His sister dies and her husband in 1958. I do think he did have a lot of experience being a car dealer here, and he remembered it, and yes, he applied it to stick jackets. That 1 year where he got Sirens of Titan out of the which for me was his first successful book in my eyes. The one that just hit all the notes that were pure Vonnegut of him, leaving the planet. It was science fiction, but it was also world philosophy. That's why he wasn't really a science fiction writer. He was a philosopher. He was just writing about the whole ball of wax of being alive. There's so much more than just science fiction. But that's the first time he did that, where he left the planet. Which I love, that's what I love the most about him. So for me, it was the hardest time in his life, the most insecure time. My mother kept saying, you're a writer. I said, no, I'm not a writer, I'm a big giant fool. And the controversy and the hardship of his life helped him birth in a funny way. I want to add my mother, Jane Vonnegut, who was just as much part of this as he was. He would not have been a writer without him. So with 3 little kids at home, struggling, she made sure he got the books.